In the beginning, there was only chaos. From this swirling void emerged Gaia, the earth, a primal force of creation. She gave birth to Ouranos, the sky, her equal and opposite. Together, they became the first rulers of the cosmos, their union giving rise to a new generation of gods.
Ouranos, the starry sky stretched above me. Gaia, the fertile earth. Rain fell from his fingertips, nourishing the land. Life blossomed in my embrace.
Their love, a cosmic dance of power and creation, seemed destined to last for eternity. But their idyllic reign was not to last. The seeds of conflict were sown with the birth of their children, beings of immense power and terrifying aspect. The balance of their love, so delicate, was about to be shattered. Among Gaia and Ouranos' children were the Cyclopes, giants with a single eye in the center of their foreheads, and the Hecatonchires, monstrous beings with 100 hands and 50 heads. These children, embodiments of raw power, terrified Ouranos. He saw in them a threat to his rule, a disruption to the order he sought to impose.
Fear gripped my heart, a cold dread of being usurped by my own offspring. I could not bear the thought of their might challenging my own.
Ouranos acted with the ruthless decisiveness of a king. He banished the Cyclopes and the Hecatonchires to Tartarus, the deepest, darkest pit of the underworld.
I watched in horror as my children were cast into the abyss. My anguish at their imprisonment was profound. A mother's love twisted into burning rage. The earth trembled with my sorrow and anger. Revenge would be mine. I would not rest until balance was restored.
Gaia's grief soon turned to a burning desire for vengeance. She pleaded with her children, the Titans, to rise up against their father, but Ouranos was strong, his power absolute. Fear paralyzed the Titans, all except one, Cronos the youngest, consumed by ambition and his mother's whispered promises.
In my fury, I created a weapon from the depths of my being, a sickle forged of the hardest metal, adamant. Its blade gleamed with a cold, unforgiving light, reflecting the rage that burned in my heart. I entrusted this weapon to Cronos, my champion, my avenger.
The stage was set for a confrontation that would shake the very foundations of the cosmos. A son rising against his father, a weapon forged in anger, and a mother's desperate hope for justice. The fate of the universe hung in the balance.
As twilight painted the sky in hues of blood and fire, Cronos, armed with the adamant sickle, confronted his father. Ouranos, caught off guard by his son's sudden rebellion, found himself facing the cold steel of betrayal.
The battle was swift and brutal. Empowered by Gaia's fury and my own ambition, I struck a decisive blow.
With a sickening thud, Ouranos, the mighty sky god, was castrated, his reign of terror brought to an end. The sky wept tears of blood and ichor, the divine fluid that flowed through the veins of the gods. These droplets, falling upon Gaia's fertile breast, gave birth to a new generation of beings, creatures of vengeance and despair. The old order was shattered, the balance of power irrevocably shifted. But the victory was bittersweet, for Cronos, now the new ruler, inherited his father's paranoia and thirst for absolute power. Born of blood and foam, the rise of the Titans. From the blood of Ouranos spilled upon the earth and churning sea, sprang forth a host of powerful beings.
The Erinyes, goddesses of vengeance with eyes that dripped venom, rose from the earth, their cries a chilling symphony of rage.
The Gigantes, colossal beings of immense strength and aggression, emerged from Gaia, eager to claim their place in the newly established order.
And from the foam where Ouranos' blood mingled with the sea arose Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, a stark contrast to her vengeful siblings.
The birth of these powerful entities marked a new chapter in the story of the cosmos. The Titans, led by Cronos, now ruled, but their reign was shadowed by the prophecy that they too would be overthrown by their own children. The cycle of violence and betrayal set in motion by Ouranos' tyranny continued. A new order, a new terror, Cronos' reign. Cronos, having overthrown his father, claimed his place as the king of the gods.
He married his sister Rhea, and together they ruled over a golden age. But the shadow of his past deeds, the weight of his betrayal, hung heavy over his reign.
Fear, a chilling echo of his father's paranoia, gripped Cronos. The prophecy, whispered by Gaia herself, warned of his own downfall at the hands of his children.
He who had so ruthlessly usurped his own father became consumed by the fear of suffering the same fate.
His solution was as cruel as it was desperate. He devoured each of his children as they were born, swallowing them whole in a twisted attempt to cheat fate.
Rhea, heartbroken and enraged by her husband's brutality, plotted against him, determined to save her children and break the cycle of violence.
Cronos, the liberator turned tyrant, was destined to face the consequences of his actions. The seeds of his own destruction, sown by his ruthlessness, were about to bear bitter fruit. Echoes of history, Diodorus' interpretation. Centuries after these myths first arose, scholars like Diodorus Siculus sought to rationalize them, to find meaning beyond the fantastical narratives. They saw in these tales reflections of historical events, allegories for the human struggle for power and civilization. Diodorus interpreted the story of Ouranos as a representation of the earliest stage of human society, a time when people lived in scattered communities unaware of agriculture and law. Ouranos, in this interpretation, symbolized the heavens, the source of rain and life-giving forces. Cronos, according to Diodorus, represented a more advanced stage of human development, a time when agriculture was discovered, and people began to form organized societies. The overthrow of Ouranos symbolized the transition from a nomadic to a more settled way of life. While the literal truth of these myths remains open to interpretation, their profound impact on Greek culture and beyond is undeniable. They offered explanations for the world around them, explored complex themes of family, power, and justice, and provided a framework for understanding the human condition. A mother's love, a father's fear, the human face of the gods. Despite their immortality and immense power, the gods of Greek mythology were far from perfect. They were driven by passions, consumed by jealousies, and susceptible to the same flaws that plague humanity.
Gaia's unwavering love for her children, her fury at their imprisonment, resonates deeply with the human experience.
Ouranos, driven by fear and a desire to maintain his power, reflects the darker aspects of human nature.
Cronos, caught between ambition and paranoia, embodies the complexities of human nature.
These gods, for all their divine attributes, were reflections of ourselves, their stories a mirror to our own hopes, fears, and aspirations. The enduring legacy, from ancient Greece to modern times. The story of Cronos overthrowing Ouranos, passed down through generations, became deeply ingrained in Greek culture. It found expression in their art, literature, and philosophy, shaping their worldview and inspiring some of their greatest creative works. The themes explored in this myth, the struggle for power, the consequences of violence, the complexities of family relationships, transcended their time and place, resonating with audiences across cultures and centuries. From ancient Greek tragedies to Renaissance paintings, the echoes of these stories can be felt throughout Western art and literature. Even today, the myths of ancient Greece continue to captivate and inspire. They remind us of the power of storytelling, the importance of understanding our past, and the enduring relevance of these timeless tales in a rapidly changing world. They invite us to grapple with complex questions about morality, justice, and the human condition. They remind us that even in the face of overwhelming power, the human spirit, driven by hope and a desire for change, can overcome even the most formidable obstacles. Beyond the myths, lessons in power, justice, and family. The story of Cronos and Ouranos is not merely a tale of gods and monsters. It is a profound exploration of universal themes. It serves as a cautionary tale about the corrupting nature of power, the importance of seeking justice, and the enduring bonds of family. Ouranos, fearing his own children, resorted to cruelty and oppression. His actions led to his downfall, proving that absolute power corrupts absolutely. The myth reminds us that power should be wielded responsibly, with wisdom and compassion. The story also highlights the cyclical nature of violence and the importance of breaking free from destructive patterns. Cronos, repeating his father's mistakes, becomes a prisoner of his own fear and paranoia. It is a stark reminder that violence begets violence, and true justice lies in breaking the cycle of retribution. Ultimately, the myth underscores the enduring power of family, both in its capacity for love and its potential for conflict. Gaia's unwavering love for her children underscores the fierce loyalty and protective instincts of family. The story of Cronos and Ouranos offers timeless lessons for navigating power, justice, and family.